us, DA Wrestling. It's Smackdown, day before SummerSlam. Go home show. I'm Andrew. That's Doug. How's Doug doing?
Doug's doing good.
Good. Today's show, Bloodline win the tag team titles. Blair Davenport costs Cargill and BELAIR. And Cody and Solo face off for a face-to-face meeting. But first, we're going to start off with LA and Logan Paul. Logan Paul
He stole his
appreciation night.
truck.
Logan, exactly. He stole his truck. Logan Paul appreciation night, apparently, according to them. Logan Paul comes out, has a bunch of supposed calls Cleveland dignitaries with him, who all this asked us at one point during this whole thing, like, I looked these people up. I have no idea who the hell they are. Can't find anything about them. Paul's like, don't worry. We're fine. It's just fine. They're dignitaries. They're fine. And they're going to give Logan Paul going to get a banner put up in his name. He's saying how he was like basically Cleveland's favorite son. He's a hero in Cleveland, the only one that is a real winner. In which case, brought out LA Knight. And LA Knight, after the banner came down, LA Knight came out. The banner said, yeah, on over Logan Paul. It was a nice banner, to be honest with you.
Yep.
And basically, LA Knight there just takes on over. First part say, you're not even from really Cleveland. You're from like outskirts of Cleveland, like it's a suburb. This makes fun of him for that. Told him he wanted to replace it. He said he wanted to replace that thing for him before the match at home because he's going to lose that U.S. title anyway. So he wanted to replace the banner for him. And instead, he stole his truck, his prime truck, which was, I don't know, kind of, it looks like a Chevy.
Yeah, it looked like a Silverado.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Or an avalanche. With a back like that, it's an avalanche.
Yeah, it probably is. So, what do you think about that? I mean, you think, yeah, I mean, there was no attack here.
I said it.
There's
I
no
said it
nothing
last
here.
night.
Yeah.
I said it last night. Or actually, you said it last night.
Yeah.
But like, at what point do we finally pull the trigger on LA Knight?
Well, it's got to be tonight. Or it got to be tomorrow. Has to be.
You would think.
I mean, you would think. I mean, like normally, like do you have like some typical the loser ends up like getting like standing over top of the eventual winner in some case or form, right? That didn't happen here. It's kind of just LA Knight stole his truck. I mean, you can look at that however you want. There's a good possibility that LA Knight is still going to win that title. At least he should. Like even Logan Paul said it out. He's had 2 down title defenses in 270 days.
Yeah, I said that yesterday.
Yeah, and Logan Paul said it tonight on SmackDown. So it's not like they're like hiding the fact, right? Hiding from the truth that he hasn't defended it a lot. They're not hiding it by any shape or form.
Right.
I mean, if LA Knight's going to win and goes on a nice, good U.S. run with this title, I'm perfectly fine with this. I'm perfectly happy with it. I don't see why there'd be an issue at all. And besides, Logan Paul really at this point doesn't exactly even need the title. He's hated enough as it is to the point where like you just strap that title on him at least then
He wrote a new chapter on that this week.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Have you not been following the Olympics, amigo?
Been following the Olympics as far as the swimming goes so far. I mean, not much else though too. Kind of busy with other things.
Okay, cool. So over in boxing,
Yeah. Oh,
there were
I heard about the trans. Is this about the transgender woman?
no, and that's the
Okay.
thing. She wasn't even trans.
Really?
A yeah. No, she's from Algeria. She was just born intersex. Like so it's like biologically she's female.
Okay. So
Yeah. So like
yeah, because
literally
there's
and
been
then
controversy over this like over the whole time. Like so she's not a transgender woman. It's just she's a woman that is manly.
yeah, yeah,
What you're saying?
was born intersex. Um but yeah, so Logan Paul decided to go with the transgender narrative and he said some shit. He's probably losing the title.
Yeah, just based on that, more than likely. Yeah, just based on that, more than likely, 100%. I mean, in this day and age, it's kind of hard not to argue. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things about these things nowadays, but you know, a little more sensitive things. We got to be a little more sensitive about some things nowadays. I think. I
Right, right, right.
guess. I guess.
And well, I mean, yeah, I'm not looking to get into the debate with you.
No, but I get into a debate at all. Don't really need to.
Um, yeah, so I think LA Knight, like I'm 98% sure he's walking out.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a. I'm pretty sure I know it's gonna be a really good match. I'm pretty sure that Elliot's gonna walk out too. I'm not. I don't see why he can't
Oh,
win.
they'll show out.
Oh, for sure.
They'll show out for sure,
Yeah,
but
they're gonna make you
uh
think that Knight's gonna not gonna win.
well, it'll be a more 50-50 match for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, then
Bloodline are the new tag team champions. They beat DIY, the hometown of Johnny Wrestling, and well, sorry, to wrestle Chopper. He's not from Cleveland, right?
death, taxes, and if you're in your hometown in WWE, you're going to lose.
Absolutely. But they did give him the walkout though, which was cool. You know, hi, I'm introduced you to I'm Tommaso Ciampa, the Blackheart, right? I'm Johnny Wrestling. It's my hometown of Cleveland. Talk about how families around you. Right? I got 10,000 my own family around me. We're gonna win. Well, they walked out like a huge, pretty good ovation in Cleveland. It was a good match. It was a really good match. 50-50 for the most part, like competing until basically the end there.
And then Jacob Fatu just went off.
Then Jacob Fatu basically like hulks up.
Yeah.
Like he was like at some point, almost in every
That
match
dude's
I've
gonna
seen so
be a
far,
problem. Like
that dude is
we
probably. I'm really liking Jacob Fatu in WWE.
well, yeah, that's it, dude, right? Like we talk football, right?
Yeah, yeah. We talk football.
And like we see a dude coming up, be like, yeah, that guy's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Jacob Fatu.
Oh, he's gonna be an absolute problem. And the way he's looking, the way they're booking him right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they strap possibly the U.S. title on him eventually if they do lose the tag titles down the line. I can see strapping the U.S. title to him.
They are gonna strap a rocket to Jacob Fatu when his
Yeah,
portion of this bloodline story is over.
yeah. And he's got a really sick nickname too. You know, the Samoan Werewolf. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty cool. Like I wish when we were at Money in the Bank in Toronto. I mean, yeah, I got the MFT shirt. I wish they would have had that shirt.
Yeah.
I would have bought that for sure, 100%. But anyway, Jacob Fatu basically hulks up and just dismantles Johnny Gargano after Solo Sikoa gets involved and spikes Tommaso Ciampa, taking him out of the equation too. Gargano puts up a valiant fight, but then, like I said, Jacob Fatu hooks up, right? Does that sick moonsault for a guy like his size, and then impales him with the impaler to get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, man.
I was a little surprised though that we didn't see possibly Jimmy Uso show up. I was wondering if this was going to happen.
Okay, so this is where, you know, with them making a bloodline rules
Yeah.
between Cody and Solo.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Oh yeah.
I think Jimmy comes back during that match as well. We all talk about Roman.
Well, Roman's
But,
obviously the bigger star, the
but
more popular.
what if it's like Jimmy, Rock, and Roman?
Possibility. It's a possibility of all
Like,
three. And we talked about this also off air too. What if Rome? Everybody's all convinced that Roman's going to come back. He's going to attack Solo. We are, and everyone else is too. But what if Roman comes back and actually attacks Cody and just takes out Cody? For him to have his match versus Solo
but
for that time.
for what? But that's the thing. Like, if anything, if you look at that, you know, that tribal chief character, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't accept beating Solo. He would want to beat the guy that beat him.
Yes. but he also
And
would want to take back what is rightfully his.
the thing is, like, you want to know how this whole chapter of the Bloodline story ends? With Roman Reigns getting his title back.
Yeah, I think so too.
It may not be right away.
I don't think it's gonna be right away at all. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna say
Like
maybe
I say by
Rumble,
SummerSlam next year.
Rumble or Mania. I think he gets it back unless they do decide to do the whole Rock versus Roman. If that does happen at WrestleMania 41,
I can see it being SummerSlam next year, like Roman gets the title back.
that's a good possibility. Well, if they do Rock versus Roman at Mania, Roman wins. That frees you up, right, to do the whole go for the whole title thing for Roman again if you want. Because I'll put the
And you
whole
can
bloodline
keep him,
stock
you can
over.
keep him mega baby face the entire time. Like, I don't think you understand with
I
Roman when Roman Reigns comes back,
oh, he's gonna be
he's gonna have a Steve Austin 1999 level
yeah,
of
he's gonna be over the he's gonna be he's gonna be the biggest babyface in the company, overshadowing Cody
maybe
by a ton.
maybe prove why he can be considered as the GOAT. Like,
The term "go" gets thrown around a lot. I mean, if you look at right
no, it
now,
gets thrown around too loosely, but
yeah, it does.
Roman Reigns, when you think about compared to Austin,
Yep.
okay, Roman Reigns has been the face of the company and has brought in record revenue after record revenue,
Yeah.
much as Austin did. But like
It's just different times though, too, right?
you could argue wrestling's more popular now than it ever has been.
It's hard to compare against that Attitude Era, but it's also
Well,
like I said,
because
but the
we
key
had
word
more
here,
metrics.
but the key word here though is era. They're different
Yeah,
eras, right?
but I'm stating my case for Roman Reigns being the greatest of all time.
He's up there, the top five for sure. If you look at it, like if you do a Mount Rushmore, as they always like to say, "Who what's on your Rushmore?"
Roman's up there.
If there's a legitimate Rushmore of wrestling, you gotta figure four would probably be Roman, Austin. As much as people don't like him, Hogan, and you could toss up between Flair and San Martino.
You wouldn't throw Cena in there?
You could put Cena in there too if you want. Like it's one of those things. It's a toss up, right? If you go over like, okay, if you're basing it off of like, say
I
sales,
would say the more listen, I would say the most successful four people in WWE history, and this is where my Mount Rushmore is going to go.
okay, fair enough.
Okay, it's Hogan, Austin, Cena, Reigns.
Who drew the most money? Then yeah, if you go based on drawing money, then yeah, it's
Which
those
and
two for
that's the
sure.
point of business, right? To make money.
Yeah, but also too, San Martino drew a lot of money too, albeit different times. And
They
that's
weren't
the
running
thing.
as many events.
There were as many events, but he held that title for an extremely long time, and he drew money at Madison Square Garden,
Of
which at the
course he did.
time was really
It's
the
also
only
easy
arena.
to draw money in Madison Square Gardens when the tickets were $2 and it was running every Sunday
Like I said, different time though, right? Different time period,
or once a
right?
month.
That's the thing. It's like I said though, it's different time period. It's like comparing the '72 Dolphins, because everybody compared the '72 Dolphins to the 2007 Patriots. Okay, different eras, different times, less games. Number one, players were a lot different than they are at that point. I mean, yeah,
I'm
the
a
Patriots never won the
The only thing
number
I'm
Super
gonna
Bowl.
say on this is the Miami Dolphins won 17 games that year,
Yeah,
including the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Patriots went 18-1.
yeah.
They still have the greatest season of all time.
I know, but
Despite the fact that they didn't win the championship, it's
but
still the greatest season of all time.
different times though. It's a different. The games weren't there weren't as many games, so you can't compare the
But
two.
winning games is winning games.
No, but you can't compare the two based on the fact that there's not as many games. Don't forget, there's only what 12 or 13, well, what, 14
It's
games?
14.
14 games, and they still had 3 base playoff games. The back of the page that they still had the wild card already and other things. So it's
only expanded by 4 games in like 50 years.
Doesn't matter. It's still different. Time periods are different. You still you. That's like comparing. Okay, who's the greatest home run hitter of all time in baseball?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, right? But a lot of people still consider it to be Ruth, but also Ruth didn't play as many games as Bonds did, and he didn't have as long a career as Bonds did. You know, think of Heron. It's different eras, but yeah, it's different. It's hard to compare each other. It's like I'm saying Jordan's the greatest of all time. You say LeBron.
It is LeBron.
It's Michael.
Don't come at me, you casual.
It's Michael. I'm telling you right now, it's Michael. It's Michael. Everyone.
LeBron James has been to more finals than most teams.
What's LeBron's record?
He's 4-6.
6-0. Never went to a game 7.
That's because he got a fucking loaded team around him.
No, he didn't. It's not really a loaded team.
Steve Kerr, Scottie Pippen.
How many of those guys are in the Hall of Fame?
Steve Kerr and Scottie Pippen.
That's it. You're missing out Tony Kukoc. You're missing out Horace Grant. Okay, sorry, Rodman.
Rodman was the second 3-peat.
Yeah.
But don't sit here and tell me that the Bulls didn't have depth back then.
They had depth too. Every good team has depth.
But everyone talks about like
Golden State Warriors.
Golden
State Warriors have had depth, so they won their championships. So
fucking right, they did.
So the San Antonio Spurs. You can argue the San Antonio Spurs were a better team than almost anybody at one point.
They were.
Yeah. No.
They won 5. Like, why did this turn into a basketball
I don't
debate?
know how it turned into a ball conversation. Anyway, moving on from this, because this is going to go all night then. Blair Davenport, out of nowhere today, attacks Jade Cargill in the middle of the tag team title match, costing Jade Cargill and BELAIR the tag titles against Fire and Dawn. Even I'm confused as to this one, because I have no idea where this came from. I understand I understand the Naomi feud with Blair Davenport
2 weeks ago,
but still.
Right. 2 weeks ago, she takes out Naomi. Right?
Yeah.
And right before that, Naomi was talking to Bianca and Jade.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, Blair's going after Naomi's friends as well. Even though Bianca Belair is like a great white shark.
Yeah.
And if Bianca's the great white shark, then Jade's probably the hammerhead or something.
Yeah. Proceeding back to what we talked about on Raw too, how I said there's those 3, the way it's going, there's like they're building this women's like 3-way team, like three women teams. Blair Davenport will just insert herself into that team with Fire and Dawn. And also you have the Naomi
I didn't really see that. I didn't really see that part of it.
Right.
Good point.
So now you have
a trios division, but I don't really see it. It almost feels like when they did the original Women's Revolution, when they had like the Bellas with Alicia Fox and they had
I remember
Charlotte,
that.
Charlotte, Becky, and Paige, and then Sasha was with Tamina and Naomi.
Yeah, it didn't really accumulate anything. Just kind of used it to push Charlotte.
Just a bunch of three-way matches, man.
Yeah, it kind of was used to push Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe that could be the same thing here to push certain women again, but who knows if that's going to be the case. But no, so they don't win the titles. We just see what goes on from this one now, if they're going to have having another match somewhere down the line, but who knows? Moving on, though, let's get to Cody and Solo. And
I thought we already touched on this.
Well, we didn't really touch on it, but let's get on actual full story. Cody opened up the show with Solo. Cody opened the show, basically called out Solo for the face-to-face meeting. And in the meeting, he basically called Solo a wannabe tribal chief. And they announced that Bloodline would be Bloodline rules for the main event on Saturday. So
That is code for this is going to be an overbooked mess, and we're all here for it.
absolutely we are. It's gonna be like just WrestleMania all over again without a problem.
This is going to be the Avengers Part 2.
It's gonna be Endgame Part 2, or maybe something new. Maybe, or maybe the first one was like the Age of Ultron, and this is like actual Endgame.
Infinity War.
Yeah. So,
Anyways,
anyways, it's
like we're going to get Jimmy. We're going to possibly get Rock.
yeah. So
And
it's
we're gonna more than likely get Roman.
yeah, and which is good because I think it's been over 100 days, I believe it is, since Roman's
Without
been
my
here
tribal chief.
without the tribal chief. So he's had a nice vacation, nice recovery time.
It's been like 120 days, bro.
I just saw it was 100 days. Maybe that was a few days ago. I can't remember
Yeah.
anymore. But
Yeah.
it's pretty much the universal sign. As soon as they went bloodline rules, I'm like, well, Roman's officially coming back. There's no ways not.
Yeah, you texted me that. I was at Canadian Tire.
Yeah. So, yeah. Uh, that's what we got to say about that one, folks. I mean, the rest of SummerSlam is going to be a hell of a good show to watch.
Tune in on Monday.
Tune in for Mondays.
When we talk all about SummerSlam.
Monday. What are we going to do on Sunday?
You think I'm putting it up Sunday night?
I thought we were going to get together on Sunday night. Oh, we're going to record on Sunday, though, yeah.
So come back on Monday when the show's live.
There we go. That's what it means. Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes, 2 or 3. 2, 3.
Yep.
Andrade won. I was expecting a little. I saw this last week on SmackDown.
I heard this was like one of the greatest matches in SmackDown history.
It was a hell of a good match. A lot of falls, a lot of highlight stuff you can see on there, a lot of high flying stuff. I'm a little surprised. I thought really last week when I said it to you, I thought they were going to 50-50 book it. I was wrong. I don't know what they're doing though with Carmelo Hayes, though. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with him.
He doesn't have to win every feud or every match.
No, that's fine, but I'm trying to figure out.
He'll be okay. His performances alone, he's gonna get over like Sami Zayn got over. He's just gonna work his ass off.
Well,
he's gonna get over like Dolph Ziggler got over.
Oh, fair enough. It was a good match though. I can see a third one coming down the line here on here though too. Escobar versus Apollo Crews. Not really much to talk about here. It was basically Escobar trying to prove a point to Legado, the rest of the group, and beat Apollo Crews here. Had a little bit of play around with Corbin on the outside, but nothing crazy. It's kind of just a filler of a match. One interesting part though is that Tiffany Stratton finally got her pink briefcase.
It's pink.
It's pink. It was gifted to Nia Jax by Nia Jax. And Nia Jax basically said to her, don't be thinking about cashing in. We have to deal with me. So kind of ruins my thing, or it's definitely going to happen like on Nia Jax for sure.
It's totally happening on Sunday.
Yeah.
This is totally happening on Sunday, dude. Or Saturday, sorry.
And who'd have thought this wasn't going to be predictable?
It's true. All we had to do was watch SmackDown.
All I had to do was watch SmackDown, which gave you the answers to whichever you need to ask for. Like I said, the only matches I'm confused on still, though, that are CM Punk and Drew McIntyre Gunther versus Priest. It's kind of 50-50 on which ones are going to happen.
Cody and Solo, it's just Cody and Solo, like you can legit make a case for both of them to walk out with the title. So that match is not.
Yeah, you can totally make a legitimate.
A foregone conclusion either.
Yeah, and after what we said tonight too, it's a good possibility that maybe Roman does attack Cody, take out Cody. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that was SmackDown, and a bit of sports ranting and raving between each other. Don't know how that had occurring. Basically, it's kind of just happened. That's what happens when we got two friends.
You were throwing shade at Steph Curry.
I didn't throw shade at Steph Curry at all. You threw shade at Jordan. So I kind of just responded.
I didn't throw shit at Jordan.
You said he had help. I mean, everybody has help.
Yeah,
Everybody has help on a team. Let's be honest. Let's
unless you're
be honest.
LeBron in 2016.
What are you talking about? LeBron didn't win a championship till he got to the Heat. I'm not getting into this again.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
he
getting. I'm
won
not
one
getting
in
into
Cleveland with basically Kyrie Irving. That's it.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, I
Still,
guess.
still, that still help.
I
He was a big enough name at the
guess.
point that it doesn't matter.
I mean, like slightly above average.
Doesn't matter. At that time, Kevin Love was one of the better players in the NBA. Anyway,
Oh,
folks,
oh, stop it.
at the time, I said at the time, there's a difference.
Stop
Lots of
it.
you are at the time. Eddie
Maybe
Murray was a great
Minnesota,
baseball
maybe
player.
Minnesota Kevin Love, but Cavs Kevin Love? Bro, are you high?
Sometimes. Anyway,
I'm pretty
guys.
high, but are you high?
Anyway, guys, make sure you go watch Make sure you go watch SummerSlam on Saturday. We'll be filming stuff on Sunday, letting go live on Wednesday. Sorry, on Monday. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe down below. Doug, take us out of
Give
here,
it a thumbs
please.
up. Thank you all for watching. Come back Monday for the SummerSlam review. Tuesday morning will be our Raw. Thursday morning will be Andrew's solo Dynamite review. And then Saturdays or Sundays, depending on the week, you'll get your SmackDown reviews.
It's gonna be interesting to see what goes on. Also, either Raw after SummerSlam, so could be a very interesting Raw.
Yeah, the Raw side of this is playing out really good too.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what goes on.
So that all in mind, go if you're listening to this on audio, go head over to YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast, social, or go find us on Spotify. Same thing. Socials are at DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. He is A Purcell 1982 on Instagram. Do the work. He is also Andrew at DA Sports on TikTok. Don't tell him I said that. I'm DLines 1991 on X, and we'll catch you down the road.
See you later, everybody.